Hello guys, welcome to the current affairs discussion where I'll be discussing all of the important topics that are necessary for prelims as well as mains. I'll be discussing the before math, after math and all of the extrapolating topics that are connected to the particular article or particular topic that is given in the newspaper. Today I'll be discussing the current affairs from the Hindu and the date is 24th March 2026. So without any further ado, let's start the current affairs discussion. Firstly, I've seen that there's delimitation given here, right? Let us discuss a little on what delimitation is and how delimitation is effective in India. Delimitation refers to the division of constituencies or territorial constituencies, right? Delimitation refers to the division of territorial constituencies according to the population. It's mainly ensured to keep political democracy, right? So it is actually mentioned under Article 82 of the Constitution. It is not directly mentioned, but according to the Article 82 of the Constitution, it says that after every census, the territorial constituencies must be adjusted based on a law given by the Parliament, and that law is Delimitation Commission. Delimitation Commission, right? Delimitation Commission Act. All right. Now, what you need to understand is that the word Delimitation Commission is not given in the Constitution of India. UPSC might ask you these kind of questions where it is asking whether the term Delimitation Commission is present in the Constitution of India or not. Remember that Delimitation Commission is not present in the Constitution. Next, what you need to understand is the Delimitation Commission is appointed by the President of India. President of India after every census. The President of India appoints the Delimitation Commission after every census. Till now, the Delimitation Commission has been appointed 4 times, that is 1952, then 1963, and 1972, and 2002. These are the times when the Delimitation Commission was actually brought into action. And coming to the amendments that were made for the Delimitation Commission, 42nd Constitutional Amendment said that the Delimitation Commission should be freeze till 2001 census, right? After that, 2002 delimitation happened, right? And next, in 84th Constitutional Amendment, it said that the delimitation shall be frozen till 2026. Now, the main reason why they froze the delimitation till 2026 is to ensure that the population is on the right note and there is no state that is at a disadvantage. Meaning that, for example, let's say Uttar Pradesh is there. Uttar Pradesh has the highest amount of population, and whenever let's consider states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, these all have very low amount of population compared to Uttar Pradesh. If the delimitation happened every year, I mean after every census, the amount of seats that are present in Uttar Pradesh will be multifold compared to Kerala or Tamil Nadu. What would happen then? The states that are contributing more to the nation, such as Kerala and Tamil Nadu or Karnataka, would get less representation, whereas states with high population would get an unfair advantage just because they have a high population, and they would get more say in the assembly or in the parliament. So that way, in order to avoid those aspects, the 84th Constitutional Amendment stopped the delimitation till 2026, and that is why the population control methods have been taken place. Coming to population control, what I want you guys to know is that population control is part of concurrent list. Right? Many people think that population control is part of union list, but then again, population control is part of concurrent list. Keep that in mind. Coming to the other aspects, after the delimitation has been constituted in after the 84th Constitutional Amendment, in the 87th Constitutional Amendment was done again, where it said that the delimitation for the territorial constituencies would be, they can change the territorial constituency limits can be changed according to the 2001 census, but the total number of seats for the territorial constituencies would be frozen according to the 1971 census. The reason they brought in this is because at the time of 1971, the amount of population throughout the India was more or less same. All of the states had high amount of population and the TFR was on the same lines. But when it comes to 2001, the amount of population increased a lot, due to which there could have been an unfair advantage. So in order to ensure that there was no unfair advantage, they said that in the 87th constitutional amendment, it said that the states can change the territorial constituency limits based on the 2001 census, but the total seats present for that state would be frozen according to the 1971 census. I'll explain it simply. Let's say there is a state, right? A state is there. A state has 6 seats, right? 6 seats, and the population at that current time was 6 crore. 6 crore population and 6 seats. So the territorial constituencies are 6, and each constituency has 1 crore. Now, after 1971, in 2001, the amount of population rose to 60 crores. Right? Now, instead of giving 60 seats, the 87th constitutional amendment says that you can fix the territorial constituency limits based on this 60 crores, meaning instead of 1 crore per each seat, you will give 10 crores, 10 crore population for each seat, meaning each seat represents 10 crore population. That is what is called as fixing or changing the limits of the territorial constituencies. That is how it works, and that is done in the 87th constitutional amendment. Now, who are the members that are present in the delimitation commission? It is the retired Supreme Court judge. Retired Supreme Court judge is present, and then election commissioner, chief election commissioner is present, and also respective state election commissioners. All of these are present in the delimitation commission. Now, what you need to understand is that the orders given by the delimitation commission cannot be challenged in any court. The orders given by the delimitation commission is not challenged by any court. The reason they ensured that the the orders of delimitation commission are not challenged is because, just imagine, let's say there are many states in India, right? Let's say one state has a problem with the order given by the delimitation commission. It starts to rectify that state's problems. Suddenly another state will come and say that it also has a problem with that. Similarly, another state will come. If you actually keep the challenges open for delimitation commission, the amount of reports or amount of challenges given to its order will be many. So that way, the delimitation will never happen. In order to keep all of the discrepancies and all of the challenges away from ensuring that delimitation is not coming to force, they said that you cannot challenge any order given by the delimitation commission in any court. Okay, that is the main reason why they came up with this particular provision. All right, these are the aspects that are coming that are particularly present for delimitation commission. Now, according to the 84th constitutional amendment, the delimitation is forced till 2026. Now, meaning that in the next elections, meaning in the 2029 elections, the amount of seats will be changing. Let's say for Parliament, the Lok Sabha seats are 543, but in 2029 it will be 816. Right, 816 will be seats, and for Telangana it will be 179, and for Andhra Pradesh it will be nearly 263. These are the amount of seats that are changing after the delimitation commission. This is what you need to keep in mind, and these are all the aspects that are present in delimitation commission and what you need to learn. Okay, that's it about this particular article. Moving on, you can use those aspects for prelims and as well as mains. You can use delimitations for GS2 in governance or federal nature of India, right? You can use it in both aspects, and some of the aspects, be it constitutional amendment 84, 42 and 87, you can use it for prelims, and also who appoints, meaning who appoints the delimitation commission, you can use it for prelims, meaning who does it. The President of India does the delimitation commission, appoints the delimitation commission, and the retired Supreme Court judge, election commissioner of India, and also respective state election commissioners are present in the delimitation commission, and the order of delimitation commission cannot be challenged in any court. These are the aspects that you need to remember when it comes to delimitation commission. Now, today is World TB Day, right? Based on that, let us discuss on what TB is and what are the types of TB that are present, and what is the medicine that is given for TB, and what are the schemes that are given for TB. Let's say TB is an infectious disease. TB is an infectious disease. Infectious disease that is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is the bacteria that causes the TB disease. Okay, this TB disease can be spread through many ways. One is air. Whenever you cough, whenever you sneeze, or whenever you talk to someone, you might get chance of getting TB. Now, there are two types of TB. One is the latent TB, and then there is the active TB. Right? Latent TB refers to inactive TB, where the TB strain is present, meaning the bacteria is present, but the bacteria is inactive in nature. What happens when the bacteria is inactive? There are no symptoms, and it is not contagious as well. Meaning, whenever a person has latent TB, they are at very low risk for being contagious or having the symptoms. And then there is the active TB. Active TB is where the bacteria is active. Bacteria is active, and the person might have symptoms and is contagious. According to some census, it says that nearly 40% of Indian population has latent TB. So meaning that despite having the TB bacteria, it is not contagious or life-threatening. Apart from these, now TB is again of two types. One is the pulmonary TB, pulmonary tuberculosis, and also extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Pulmonary tuberculosis, meaning pulmonary tuberculosis mainly affects the lungs, whereas the extrapulmonary tuberculosis affects more than lungs, meaning it can affect the brain, it can affect the kidney, it can affect the lymph nodes, it can affect in many regions. So that is called extrapulmonary TB, and pulmonary TB affects the lungs. These are the two aspects that you need to remember. And when it comes to the symptoms of TB, the main symptoms of TB are fever, cough, right, and weight loss, and sweating, and also blood in the sputum. These are all the symptoms of TB, which is not necessary for UPSC, but then again I try to just educate you guys, right? It's all about education, right? And then again, there is two types of resistant TBs. Before going into the resistant TBs, let us understand what are the medicines that are used for TB. TB is curable. Many people think that TB is not curable, but then again, know that TB is curable, and it requires a 6-month course. 6-month course of antibiotics. Antibiotics like isoniazid and rifampicin. 6 months antibiotic course where they are using isoniazid and rifampicin like antibiotics. But what you need to understand is whenever you are misusing the antibiotics, there is chance for building a antibiotic resistant bacteria, due to which tuberculosis might develop two types of resistant bacteria. One is the MDR. MDR refers to the main drug resistant bacteria. Main drug resistant bacteria, meaning that bacteria is resistant to the antibiotics isoniazid and also rifampicin. The reason I am talking about isoniazid and rifampicin is because UPSC might ask questions like this in prelims. It might give you rifampicin, isoniazid, and ask you which of the following are these antibiotics used for. That you might get these kind of questions. So that is the reason I am mentioning rifampicin and also isoniazid. Okay, the first type of resistant bacteria is the MDR, where it is resistant to the main drugs being rifampicin and isoniazid. And next one is the XDR. XDR refers to the multi-drug resistant bacteria. Not only these drugs like rifampicin and isoniazid, it is resistant to other drugs as well. This is called multi-drug resistant bacteria or multi-drug resistant TB. Now, other than these antibiotics, children are given the BCG vaccine. BCG vaccine is nothing but TB vaccine. Now, as we've been talking about TB vaccine, let us look at the amount of vaccines or the number of vaccines and what are the vaccines that are given under the Mission Indradhanush. Mission Indradhanush is a immunization drive for children under 2 years and also pregnant women, and the number of vaccines that are given are 12 vaccines, right? Diphtheria, whooping cough, polio, measles, rubella, pneumonia, hepatitis B, TB meaning the BCG vaccine, Haemophilus influenza, rotavirus, Japanese encephalitis and meningitis are the vaccines that are given under Mission Indradhanush. The reason I mention is because UPSC might ask which of the following are part of Mission Indradhanush. Keep this in mind, and only 10 of these are given for India. The other 2 that are not given for India is Japanese encephalitis and also meningitis. Meningitis and Japanese encephalitis, Japanese encephalitis vaccine are given subnational. The other rest 10 are national in nature. Okay, keep this in mind. Coming to, as we are done with number of vaccines given under the Mission Indradhanush, let us look at the schemes that are given under TB, given for TB are by the government of India. Basically, there's an umbrella scheme called TB Mukt Bharat. Yeah, it ensures that India is free from tuberculosis, and under this there is Nikshay portal. Nikshay portal where they are tracking the amount of TB population in India, right? And then there's another scheme called Nikshay Poshan. Nikshay Poshan Abhiyan, where the government is sending 500 rupees per month through DBT, meaning the direct benefit transfer system, directly into their banks to ensure that the people suffering with TB have right nutrition support. Okay, these are the 2 schemes that are given under the TB Vimukt Bharat. Okay, and when it comes to the amount of TB that is present in India, India tops the world TB population with 25%. Right, 25% of world's TB population is present in India, being the highest. So India ranks first. After India comes Indonesia, right, and third is Philippines. So the countries that are topping in tuberculosis population is first India, then Indonesia, and lastly Philippines. These are all the information that you need to keep when it comes to tuberculosis. All of this information can be used for mains, mainly for GS1 when it comes to health, or it can be also used in GS2, right, under government schemes. So what are the aspects that you need to remember? 1, tuberculosis is an infectious disease that can be curable using vaccines like rifampicin and isoniazid, right? These are the 2 vaccines. I need you to keep this in mind. Don't forget these kind of vaccines. I mean these kind of antibiotics. Okay, and then there is latent TB and then there's active TB. Latent TB is something that where the amount of TB present, bacteria present in the body is inactive and making it not contagious and not life threatening. Then there is active TB where the bacteria is active and the symptoms are present and that is contagious. Okay, other than that you have multi-drug resistant, main drug resistant bacteria and also multi-drug resistant bacteria. India has 40% of multi-drug resistant bacteria. Okay, India has 32 to 40% of multi-drug resistant bacteria. Then you have pulmonary tuberculosis and extrapulmonary tuberculosis, where pulmonary tuberculosis affects the lungs and the extrapulmonary tuberculosis affects the body parts other than lungs, meaning the brain, the kidney or the lymph nodes. Now there's vaccines. In order to treat the tuberculosis, children are given the BCG vaccine, and when it comes to the vaccines given under Mission Indradhanush. There is a set of 12 vaccines given under Mission Indradhanush. One is diphtheria, second one is whooping cough, 3 is polio, 4 is measles, then rubella, then pneumonia, then hepatitis B, TB, hemophilia, Haemophilus influenza, rotavirus, Japanese encephalitis, and meningitis. These are the 12 vaccines given under Mission Indradhanush. Right? I want you guys to remember all of these. These are the aspects that are present in today's newspaper that I think are necessary for UPSC. So keep all of these in mind. That's it for today's class. We'll meet you guys in the next class. Thank you.